so good.
Why, of course. Go ahead, try whatever you like. If the
And if it's not?
Well,
Yeah. Oh, we called this a farewell.
Oh, true.
Speaking of cases,
Well, we've certainly taken a big step forward.
if it hadn't happened...
Right? Yet it was in such investigations, even the small... To be honest, I don't have high hopes for any follow-up that the authorities... It's not that I don't have faith in their ability. It's easy to guard against and deceit, which is exactly why the Spina... Those highfalutin folk... It's all right. Let's talk about something else. Like,
That's true. We didn't...
I see. I've heard that there's a long
Yeah, we've heard...
Well,
Guess that's Spina...
well, one way would be to infiltrate a performance troupe, but I'm sure Lady Farina would...
could you...
All right, I can personally testify that this one works. Valid point. You did defeat her in court, clearing citizens of hers from...
You mean that if we catch her while she's out, why don't we give it a try?
Huh?
Was...
No, it's...
Alright. Honestly...
Is that so? If we're all finished eating, then I'll...
Yeah, we're... Paimon's
Okay.
Hey, Navia! What are you doing?
Oh, nothing.
Let's give it...
So this is goodbye, huh? Well, if you do encounter any other trouble in in any case,
See ya! There aren't many people around.
The shit?
Looks like we're back here. Huh? Traveler?
Vache?
Hey, why are you Huh? Hey, Traveler? Stop walking! Come on, wake up!
Vache? Are you... my dear Vache? No, wait. You seem to be someone else. Do you know Vache? Wait. My memories feel like they have been washed away like a flood. So how much have I lost? How many things that I once held dear while on land have I... Yes, that is what I was once. But now, I do not know how I came to be like this either. I only vaguely remember being covered in light blue. I also remember going to many... No matter where I went, Vache would go with me. But now, we can no longer go back. No! Our reunion no longer has any meaning. The thought of me gives him no succor. So let it lie for... If you meet Vache, tell him not to look for me. Tell him to move on. Perhaps that is so. As I was submerged in the... If only I could have comforted him. Told him that I did not suffer. Is that what you call it? Dissolve. It was a state of neither fear nor frenzy. I could also liken it to being a thirsty person who drinks water for the first time, and only then sees how they have lived. I think I hear your companion. It's time for you to go, I think. Farewell, then. I am glad that you...
Wake up! Come on, hurry! Navia's outnumbered!
Dear God, it's a whole army of Gardamex. Chlorand? Quick, now's our chance! I should thank you for lending us your sword there, Chlorand. But before I do so, could you explain how you managed to show up here?
I followed you.
I believe that following someone without their knowledge...
Mr. Callus's last wish was for me to ensure your safety, and I will...
Do not!
Sorry, demoiselle.
Thank you for your aid, Miss Chlorand, but do keep an eye out for your manner of speech.
Sorry,
Whatever. What else do you know?
I doubt I know much more than you. But I believe that the mastermind behind the serial... Your performance tonight will almost certainly...
I'm sure they've known about me. And what about these Gardamex? I thought only those associated with...
None of these mecha have serial numbers. I was sure to check a moment ago. I can only conclude that some powerful or wealthy party must have obtained...
What? Your point being that they're out of Spina di Rosula's league, then?
Yes. Be careful, and do...
I will continue investigating, no matter what. Regardless, thank you for your help today, Chlorand. But...
I do not think that they'll strike again anytime soon. So I shall stop following you. Good day.
Right. I suppose that's the best news we've gotten today.
Demoiselle, I believe that Miss Chlorand was being...
I know, she's...
Oh, thank goodness! Paimon thought we were done for! Those Gardamex came out of nowhere while you were unconscious, and Nadia and her gang saved us! Oh, and there was that champion duelist named Chlorand who came out to save us too! We got lucky there.
Oh, come now. Forget all that polite talk. That wasn't really a farewell meal we had back there. As such, we're still partners. There's no need...
It will take 50 years for me to match Dim.
If it were me, I would have...
Actually, Navia, how did you know that we were in danger?
Well, to be honest...
Huh? Really?
Yes. All thanks to you, After we parted ways, I was on the way back to one of our bases that the Fanta tasted kind of salty and icky. Fanta only comes in sweet flavors.
So the Fanta had been spiked with water?
Yes. So, if you had...
Spina di Rosula is preparing the grandest of awards for you.
Huh. Really?
I sent people to Hotel de Boer to investigate. That's when I figured out that you might be in...
But why would they go after us too? All we did was defend Linny and...
Well, you did foil a plan that they were Speaking of which, did anything...
Well, it can't be a coincidence that the Traveler fainted just now. She's... Oh, and this time Paimon heard it too! But it was real. Does that mean the primordial seawater raises someone's sensitivity to Hydra?
That doesn't sound like too much of a bad thing, to be honest.
New intel?
Well, let's hear it, shall we? Oh. Vache. That name doesn't... Since he saw that young woman dissolve, he was... But he never gave testimony or any information regarding people dissolving in the primordial seawater. Yes, thank you. This is... Oh, you...
Well, you did say that our fair... And besides, we're in this now whether we like it or not. You're not gonna...
Demoiselle, do try not to look quite so pleased.
You talk too much. Well, in that case, we also have some plans.
Don't worry, you two.
It's right up ahead, but let's...
I've been keeping watch, Demoiselle. I haven't spotted...
Very good.
I shall find room.
Thank you, Malouse. Now.
This is your base? It's not...
Your accommodations have been arranged.
After all, we don't allow...
Seems like it's tough to...
To be honest...
Your father...
Demoiselle, if you'll allow me...
No. I'll explain it myself. My father's name is Callus, 3 years ago.
Oh no.
But I do not believe... At the time, I believed that if he only but strangely, he not... That even after being seriously injured, to the point where he could be 3 years... How could he protect his honor if he's dead? The closest piece of info I have is that my father had been investigating the...
So that's why you're...
That's right. I've also tried to investigate the murder However, I believe that if the murder case... I must know what really happened. If only he'd been more open with me when he was still alive. He even hid the... And now, here I am investigating his death. You really are...
Demoiselle, please.
I also will never believe that Master Callus murdered anyone. Master Callus did so much good in life, yet even our supporters decreased greatly due to that incident.
Wait! If Callus was such a good man...
No. Perhaps people just revel in that kind of... People love watching the evil turn over a new leaf.
But how could... never mind.
There is one other thing.
Oh! Her? Well, then, yeah. That's not...
Miss Clorand has always placed great emphasis on the honorable... She knew Master Callus beforehand and greatly respected him, but there was...
It's not that I don't understand her at all.
Don't worry, Navia.
Afterward, Miss Clorand told us that at least... Yes, that is our...
All right. Anyway, that's the information I wanted to... Thanks.
Yeah.
Please, relax and get some sleep. Whether it be responsible, this won't do.
Huh? Navia?
I sent them back to Poisson. It's Spina de Rosula's place of origin.
Paimon gets the feeling that you're just... But...
No, I just returned after going out for a while. I did some
Wait! So you...
How could I?
Guess Paimon...
Unfortunately, this name seems to have been wiped. I suspect that those behind this have already taken steps to hint...
Does that mean we're...
No. There is one ray, and that is the archives kept by Chief Justice If the Ocean that you met is one of the young women who went missing recently,
So Noirceur maintains an archive of case files? In that case, let's go talk to him, shall we?
Halt! Please state your business here. The chick...
This place...
Hey, don't you recognize us?
Huh? Who are you? Just to be clear, I don't care.
See?
Yep.
If you're here just to crack...
No. What I meant to...
Oh, yes,
We're here today to...
Huh. Is that even...
Of course.
All right, then, I'll let you through. The chief...
Thanks.
Please come in.
Sorry to barge in, Monsieur...
It's all right.
So...
We're looking for a man called Vacher.
Ah, I see.
Who knew that Noirceur would be so easy to talk to?
Unfortunately, I'm quite certain that no one by the name of Vacher has been involved in any case, criminal or civil. There are no records of him either in the files or in my memory.
Traveler? What?
Is that so?
Ahem. Miss Navia, I can understand how you feel. Your father, Callus, was a truly exceptional man.
And what are you trying to say, Monsieur Noirceur? Are you trying to console me? No. You are not trying to do any of that. I can hear it in your voice. There's no... It's just like last time. After my father took his place in the... You even told me then that you thought there was something fishy with the case. In your eyes, the value of a human life is nothing compared... If you truly regret my father's death, why didn't you give me the power to stop everything? Was hanging on... There are still so... If you really have no heart, then just look me in the eyes.
I'm sorry.
You and my... It's not so much that you can't feel. Oh well. My apologies for taking my emotions out on you, Monsieur Chief Justice. Let's go, Traveler and Paimon.
What is it? Did you think of something?
Yeah, he was outside. It was uncovered in the That thought has occurred to us before. We've even expanded the search area to try to account for that, but didn't find anything of value. Oh? Wait.
So you're saying that the true murderer could have been turned into... Yeah! And if that's what had happened, then...
I really think I found a true genius for a... All right, let's go to Poisson. With this new lead in mind, we'll get to the bottom...
Yeah! We're gonna make progress for sure this time!
Do you want to go with me now? Or... Great. Let... There's no need to be so... My father was the one who asked for it to be built like this. A gigantic and glamorous ship embodies discovery, opportunity, ambition, and conquest. It symbolizes Spina di Rosula's bright and limitless future.
And Paimon thought you were bluffing when you said Spina di Rosula had a glorious... Paimon was confused why a group was such a hit, but now that Paimon has seen this ship for her...
Well, Poisson is where Spina di Rosula... Melus, we're back!
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle, and our You said before that you still had some business at...
About that. It's because You still remember, right, Melus?
Yes, the case was quite similar to that of Mr. Linney's.
Could you tell us a bit more about...
Yeah, of course. Many years ago, at a glance, it was a kind of drink that could...
Wait! Didn't that guard guy who turned into water also mention that the primordial water could be used to...
Yes, he did. Considering what we... If you drink synth for an extended amount of time, you'll suffer many side effects. And if you were to stop drinking it completely, you'll experience flashes of paranoia. As he oversaw Poisson, my father was compelled to put a stop...
Boss's uncompromising attitude incurred the synth vendors. Not only that, Boss became determined...
Yes, but the enemy was very cunning. Recognizing that, my father decided to contact the dealers and... The man's name was Jacques. He felt greatly ashamed about his work after seeing many... That night, my father hosted a banquet at his countryside, but then we heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard. We raced to the scene and found my father, still holding a gun.
Huh? How did that happen? Aren't they on this...
Sounds just like Lenny's case, doesn't it? In both cases. Looking back on it, though, I now believe the most important clue was something we... Precisely. It's all thanks to you that I made the connection. But, considering it now, it's almost certain that they belong to a third person at the scene. With one extra... You're right.
Jacques was an empathetic. I think this third... On that note, however, our opponent is insidious, and even though Spina di Rosula has lost most of it, there is no need to follow your father.
If that's indeed what he wished for, was I not the closest person to him? What was the point of him dying without sharing any of the secrets he knew? Synth is still here. Callus the Unfaithful is Did he think I've never accepted that. I want to find...
Navia.
This is indeed the best moment to...
So you do know something else, Melus?
Yes, I do. But what drove...
What?
And the serial 5 years, knowing all of... But as long as you remain... If something were to happen to you, then he and...
Right, so...
As we've seen, Boss's tactic has worked. Even though Boss has been...
No, I don't believe it. He never appeared to look...
No father wants their daughter to see them weak and haggard. Especially someone as proud as Boss. To him, dying in a duel and suffering lasting dishonor as...
So he chose to die...
I'm afraid you're not understanding this correctly, demoiselle. If Boss's spirit could hear you telling me that you... I'm sure he'd...
No. He might have set up everything. Is that the amount of confidence he had in me? And what if I was never able to make it to where I... Yeah. I suppose that's true. But thankfully, he rarely talked to me about complex matters, and thus understood little of me as a person. Melus, What was the key evidence?
It's the location where synth is produced when he was threatening the enemy. But if you want to use it,
Why? If we know where the place is...
you mustn't forget that we're fighting against... There's no telling what might be lying in wait at their headquarters. But a single visit there... The worst case would be that we...
Then, in that...
Well, you saw one of them dissolved.
But things are different now. It should be...
You sound like you've put a lot of thought...
I am the butler. I've always been willing to take on any kind of risk for your sake. But considering my...
Thank you for all of that, Malus.
Let me think. When I announced order, if the vendors didn't check after several rounds of testing and investigating, the first?
Huh?
Yes, thanks to his... There's someone else like him too. Marcel.
Uncle Marcel.
It's a guild, and in the beginning...
So...
Yes, it's...
The final suspect is Thierry, the man responsible for coordinating information between although the guards, since Thierry...
I see. To think that the...
If you want to investigate them,
Of course. And...
You're too kind, my lady. And before I forget, proving boss after that incident, if it might help you...
Aw, thank you so much, Mel.
A new case awaits, my dear partner. I hope we can work together.
It is settled, then.
Thank you for arranging everything.
Excuse me, miss.
Hey, Navia's all quiet. This isn't like her at all.
I'm sorry that I only came to visit.
Ah, if it's about that, there's no...
But aren't all of those things nothing compared to the loss of Jacques?
You don't understand.
I didn't know how to face you. I know.
I'm sorry. On the matter regarding...
Would you mind sharing it with me?
I always knew that my husband's money was earned through others' suffering. He told me he had many regrets, and felt that... So when Mr. Callis came to him, he tried to be as careful as he...
They found out...
Papa didn't say that exactly.
Before he left that day, he told me that he had no choice. It was only later, I don't know that for sure, but you could... Which is why I'm the one who should feel guilty. Callis had always... Even if he fired the shot that killed my husband, it was likely in self-defense.
But Mama, Papa always wanted to be a good man.
Well, things aren't always as they seem.
Yeah.
Then you should hold on to that. If a good man had... Regardless of whether he left you a parasol, or...
Oh.
Thank you.
Thank you. Even though your personality is quite different from your father's, your determination when you speak is...
You really... That's... the...
Are you okay, Navia?
I'm fine. Don't worry. Let's investigate the 3 suspects next. Florent should be nearby, and we should be able to find Thierry and Uncle...
Greetings, boss. How may I be of assistance today?
I'm sure you've heard about what happened at the Opera House?
Yeah, I've heard. With something...
It also... After my partner here put the dots together, can you do me a favor and try to
Let me think. After that, he told us that he wanted to go get... My first reaction was that Mr. Callis's life was in danger. But when I got there, it was already...
So you also remember 2...
Indeed. The guard said that the first shot didn't hit any. Reason being, Mr. Callis had left his gun on the table. But according to the guards, that doesn't mean he couldn't have had... About the clothes left at the scene that you mentioned. Do you think there was a third person?
At least from our perspective, my father had no reason. The gun he was holding probably belonged to...
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So you're saying, Mr. Cal... But hold on. If that's what had happened, he didn't even Did he lose all faith in the courts? After
About that, Malou, I'll tell you everything.
I understand. And if I may just say one, many people have laughed at me for still, but it was Mr. No matter what other.
Don't worry. You and all... Hey, Thierry, it's me.
Oh, now, what brings you...
Oh,
Oh, okay.
are you sure there isn't a...
I mean, where Callus to defend, it would be next to him. And,
yes. What happened at the opera?
if you want to go through the original...
That'd be much...
Of course. Why do you ask?
Well, so... if you...
If I had to make an analogy, when you order a dish, the chef will make it for you. If you try to make unreasonable, removing a so I can promise you, they're certainly not cheap. So, whoever their owner is must be
Oh, then you're officially in the clear, Thierry.
Jokes aside, I'll be staying in this...
Hello. How may I help you? I'm here to see Noirceur. I will...
Navia, hello. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm not as...
Oh, it's all right. I just wanted to talk to you briefly about...
Yes,
Oh, you were at...
that's right. I also witnessed to beat the Hydro...
Oh,
Apologies. It's just how Fontaine is...
Uncle Marcel...
Yes.
Exactly.
Oh.
We were attacked on Araneus by some unnumbered Gardamex. And there was also an... If not for the vigil...
Oh, yeah.
Alas. But rest assured, if anyone dares...
Thank you, Uncle Mark. Do you have any new thoughts?
The confrérie was... Then I heard the sound of a gun...
Oh, it's okay. No need to push yourself. We'll ask...
Sounds good. Just let me know if you ever need... All my wealth comes from Cal...
We've talked to all three suspects.
None of them sounded particularly suspicious.
Anyway.
But where should we start? You're right.
According to Jacques...
So, Jacques fired the first shot?
Oh? And why is that?
Ooh, that's a good point.
Huh. So, what would make more sense from his perspective? Makes sense. Besides Jacques, the attack from... It's obvious that...
Do you think...
Given everything that's... But who among the three suspects would have the ability to control privately owned Gardamex? Uncle Marcel? And with funds from the... Still real... Also, wouldn't this mean he has been spending... Florent? But...
So you're saying he...
Exactly. He can't. And even if he could, I don't think he would... Thierry? But...
Yeah. If the mecha were...
Who could it be? You know, if you think...
Could we be missing a...
The suspect is... Even if I don't want to believe it, I'm starting to see how things could all...
Well, we still have another trump card on top of all the theorizing and speculating.
Yes. We need far more...
Navia, here you are. Oh, I've been looking for you.
Huh?
Yeah.
Wasn't that place...
I know. But they said the person they're putting on trial is a Fatui harbinger called Tartag.
What?
Yeah, we know...
Well, he's been accused of...
Wait, how?
That's what I thought. If the charge again...
Right.
Yeah.
Huh? Split up? What do you mean? Since this is you're right. I won't have any chance of making that charge stick, though, unless we find more evidence. It'll be up to you to make it back in time and hand the
We'll help you!
Demoiselle, please allow us to accompany.
I'm ready.
Ah, Malou, Silver.
We heard. It's our hope.
See you then! Now that Navia has set out for Aranias, we should also get going. The location has already been marked on the map, so let's head over. Huh. According to Malus's info, the synth production base is underwater. Let's go and try to find the entrance.
Rain outlines your fate. Body and mind. Time to act. Yeah.
Entrance that leads to the synth production. Ah, you're right. Navia's probably...
It would appear that I must repeat my... Do you accept the charge that you are the true culprit?
To be perfectly honest, I don't understand your country's complicated court system. However,
I did hear that people who have been charged, in which case, as long as I accept the charge, I've got to admit, that's one of the most enticing offers. When I privately sparred with her last time, she was obviously holding back.
Hey! Don't you understand?
Oh? Sounds like the Hydro Archon wants to lecture me. Then why don't you duel me too?
No.
Alas, it would appear that communication with the defendant is going... In that case, let me explain everything from the very beginning again.
That case had nothing to do with... Huh? What's going on?
Why is she...
I told you it...
Miss Navia, this is the... But that was an exception rather than standard.
Oh, please. Did you ever... We can put the discussion aside for now. And if my charge is...
Oh. So, Your Honor, is there nothing else...
You may take a seat for now in the audience, but that doesn't mean the suspicions against you have been lifted. Now then, Miss Navia.
That person... Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabaret... Huh? What?
I've heard of them.
Oh, is this going to be a friends to enemies type situation?
Please let me remind you, Miss Navia, that and if the charge...
Yes.
In that case, I declare the charge to be members of the guards. Mr. Marcel, you will not
Apologies, sir. It all just... I think an attorney won't be necessary.
Very well. In that case, since...
I would like to take everyone back to 3, only through elucidating what really...
Navia, do you really... Come on. If that's enough to me...
Exactly correct, Your Honor. I must...
I see. In which case, I will recount the findings about that case as originally recorded by Maison Gardiennage. On the day of the murder, Spina di Rosula, during the banquet, all attending guests heard 2 gunshots from the court. When the guests arrived at the scene, they found the guard's investigation did not recover any up. The suspect did not dispute this Callis was defeated by champion duelist. These are the known facts about...
The one with the... after that... However... The testimony of the... However, This assassin... A pile of clothing was but now, since it was raining that... Realizing this, the true culprit caused... So that's what happened.
Wait, you're telling me something is...
What a great theory.
Mr. Marcel.
But I think I agree with...
Then, may I ask some... 1. Do you have... I may not have the evidence with me, but I know where I could go to collect it. We should be able to find a match. Considering the serial disappearances, that makes sense to me. Why do I feel like for...
Maybe she's scared of
Alternatively, she's become more diligent after charging an
My second question has to do with the ensuing... Then why didn't Mr. Callis explain himself in court? If he had I've thought about this too. And the answer is the dissolving power of what my father could have exposed. At that time, Spina di... What was certain how...
Boss once told me...
What? If the secret had gotten out, the culprit would have fought an all-out war with Espina right there and then. I wouldn't have been the only one in danger. Of course, the guards might eventually figure out the truth of the... But what good would that do? How had this opera house ever given my father any kind of confidence in its brand of justice? But by staying silent, we retained the ability. I was able to become Spina di Rosula's president, which made me harder to target. And once I have figured out the truth and stepped up to the challenge... So, you mean to say That's right.
Do you have any?
Of course. All you need is to ask his... I don't need your apology, your guilt, or... But since he entrusted his will to you...
So... During the duel, did you...
As a champion duelist, I've fought many battles, and taken a countless number in my line of work. I've seen all just one look and I can tell if a duelist is... I hereby swear on my name and honor as a champion duelist that Mr.
Since that's your testimony,
I concur. However, Miss Navia, you still have not...
Right? What she said was fast...
Wait, weren't they just talking about the serial disappearance?
Of course, Your Honor. The two cases are in my father's case, the culprit intended to kill both Jacques, and at the end of Linny's trial, the culprit also only dissolved the victim in front of everyone. The culprit could only time their actions so precisely. Coincidentally, Marcel
So that's why you suspected me. I'm used to it, though. You've always been...
No need to...
I won't try to refute your points one by one. On top of that, does a person have to be physically present to...
Know what she can say to that.
I know that even with that, you might still think, alas, who won't feel at least a... But if I were to dismiss this completely, do you know what the biggest flaw...
I suppose you're...
It's timing. I'm a businessman by trade. From that standpoint, there's no reason for me in addition. But the
I do apologize.
No.
Is there anything else you'd like to... You can also take a look at my border entry records. Or could those records and testimonies do something to appease the
Seems like she got the wrong guy. At this rate, Navia will be...
I think you've done a superb job of dissecting. But aren't you going against all of his wishes? He wished for you to become, once you've learned to be more considerate of others' feelings, and to stop rushing headlong in...
This isn't just about me. The biggest difference between the people whose many people's and whose is it a man... Oh, so you...
I've merely surprised...
I was waiting for...
Solidify!
Rise. Whirling snow! Kamisato out! Sumetsu! My apologies!
Gather! This is order!
Is it because of this mechanism in the middle? That guy really prepared a lot of stuff for this place. Paimon thinks we need to go up, but Paimon doesn't see a way. Let's take a look around. Maybe we'll find a hidden mechanism that'll show us the way up. amazing! Now we can swim to the top! But this is still a ways away from where we need to go.
Stabilize!
Let me leave you a verse.
Go.
Whirling snow! Sakura swirl!
Gather! I will have order!
Rain cutter!
Solidify!
Life goes on.
Take flight!
Stabilize!
Wheel of life.
Whirling snow! Kamisato art! Sumetsu!
Gather! This is order!
Opening box of Adepti tricks.
My apologies! Sakura swirl!
After all that, though, as expected, the mastermind. That's right. What's this over here? Looks like some kind of experiment number 16. The experiment was a failure. No individual managed to resurface from the water from the primordial sea. Females? Sorry, Traveler. Paimon will try her best. How can someone write something that terrible and you read the rest? Paimon's too scared to keep going. So that's why... Wait, did he really think he'd be able to find a way just by dissolving people over and over? That's just insane! Huh? Isn't that the name you heard by the fountain? Paimon thought he was an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case. You mean Vache is the one who did all of these... experiments? experiments? So that's it! Vacher was no victim. No, that's not it either! If that's the case, why would... In any case... Oh, look! There's an important-looking basin over here, and it's full of water! That means this is where they make all the synth! If you dilute it with normal water, you'll get synth! Paimon will take... Let's see what's written... Callus. Navia's father. Oh, this seems to be an Yep! It's about that. This should prove the existence of the third person, right? We still have not. The old dog's a he can act whenever. I concur. Let's sense. Oh, seems like we've got a bunch of correspondence between the higher-ups. What's all this? Pink accessories, a hair tie, a necklace, even a makeup box. Oh, Paimon sees it too, but why are all... Huh? You mean the girls from the... And then they were... And all the boxes of things. These names... Whoa! There's so much synth here! And so many bottles of ingredients that probably just contain the what? Mixing and Whoa! There's even fruit-flavored synth? Yep! We've looked at almost everything here, and it seems like our theories... Yeah! We haven't found anything that would... No wonder even Nervalette wasn't able to find anything. That way, even if we bring all this back to the opera... Sure thing. You take that side, and Paimon will take this. Ugh. Nothing at all. And Paimon can't even find snacks either. Whoa, really? Let Paimon see. Vinier. Isn't that Vacher's lover's name? Then you found her Aw, it's just a normal diary. So many! A whole page's worth! The final name Marcel. Wait, but Marcel's pretty old. Has this case been going on for so long that he...
Oh, so you do—
I've merely surprised.
I was waiting.
Navia! We're back!
As expected of my part.
Just how often do you
It's all right, Monsieur Neuvillette. Given their confidence—
But the truth of it, Marcel, is that you've...
Huh?
We've investigated your lair, and we already know after your lover, Venier, was dissolved, you kept abducting young women to You even created Marcel as a new identity!
So that's it. Even the villain— And with that, Marcel's— This information regarding your past also Well, Marcel, you fixated your gaze on the lover that passed away. Instead, you never noticed how we changed.
You also never understood Boss's real
For our determination.
You're determined.
Mr. Marcel, please speak up now if you would like to defend yourself.
Do you think? Pay attention to you? What for? Have you ever paid attention? No one helped me. No one even believed me. All those decades ago, they said there's no way a human being can turn into water. So I must have gone mad from... Well, now you know, don't you? Ha! Well, you only have yourselves to blame. You set up this ornate opera house in pursuit of your so-called... Venier is dead! We promised each other that we would always be together. Wherever she goes, but I'm not from this blasted place. So I can't be dissolved.
Hey, is that water from the primordial sea that he's drinking?
I can't dissolve! Can't dissolve! Can't dissolve! Do you all see? I can't go! I did all of that. And in the end, that occurred. I spent my entire life living on pins and needles!
The suspect is exhibiting signs of mental distress. Go—
Don't touch me! Don't anybody come in here. Please, Venier. Don't think...
At this point, the verdict of this trial is clear. With Mr. Marcel's conviction...
Fine by me. I was in a bad mood, but after a show like...
Traveler. The man now known as Marcel was originally named Vacher and worked as an adventurer with his partner and lover, Venier. During an underwater expedition, Venier accidentally came into contact with water from the primordial sea and was dissolved in front of Vacher as a result. Vacher learned of the primordial water's existence through the work of others and began to kidnap young women for research, with the goal of discovering a method to cover his tracks. He invented the new alias of Marcel and began to operate. During the course of his research, Vacher discovered that a diluted concoction of water. However, as he accumulated wealth to fund his continued research and expanded the scope, after exchanging blows with Spina de Rosula for many years, Vacher, although the assassination did not go as Vacher expected, he was able to turn Callus into the murder suspect. And just recently, Vacher attempted to frame Linny as the culprit of the series. However, his attempt to frame Linny failed, and the power of water from the primordial sea thus concludes the enigmatic history of the sea. The oratrice will now deliver the final... According to the judgment of the guilty.
Guards! Take the...
Good. It's what he...
With that...
We really just witnessed him.
Yippee! He's heard so many... Huh? Are you okay?
Demoiselle, you were...
The day our late boss...
Yeah.
Well now, hasn't this been a most delicious piece of drama? The villain has been caught, justice has been served, past wrong. Since it's been such a great show, I'll just let the false accusations against me slide. Either way.
Please wait just one moment, Mr. Tartaglia.
What now?
According to court...
Oh, come on. Is this
Please respect the laws of...
All right.
Through evidence presented in the public the guilty party has... We now turned... According to the guilty...
What?
Hey, hey! That's not What's with this Huh? I mean...
But weren't the charges about the serial
The judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique de la... Guards!
So this is how justice is done in Fontaine. What a joke. You've got your rules. Well, I've got mine too!
I am sorry. If you have been wronged, we will find the truth. But the rules of the court must be upheld.
Hey, Monsieur Neuvillette, what's going on?
Apologies. All I do is follow court procedure. As for why the Oratrice arrived at the conclusion it did, you should probably ask someone more knowledgeable than me.
I don't... What does Lady Verena mean by that?
She says she has...
Yeah, so are the... My dear, don't tell me.
But the way she looked just...
However, and... if you thought child had nothing to do with everything, all so... No, having said that...
So she chose...
So you're saying...
She probably just put... However, please be...
All right. After all,